my name is Natalie. I'm a violence prevention educator, and today we're going to talk about how to handle our anger in a healthy way. So, anger is a natural feeling. Everyone experiences anger at one time or another. It just depends on how we handle it that would make it healthy or unhealthy. So, it's okay to feel angry. However, it's not okay to take that anger and channel it into violence or other harmful behaviors. So we're going to take a look at the different levels of anger. Let's start drawing my pictures. Hope you can see this. Alright, so we have different levels. When you go to the doctor, they take you into a room and they ask you your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10. What's your pain level? And so you try and tell them like 1, or 10, feeling like you've been hit by a bus. And so you try and explain 1 to 10. Well, with anger it's similar. We have our 1s and we have our 10. We have different words that express the different levels of anger. So we're looking at, down at a 1, words that describe this level of anger. Maybe irritated. I like the word aggravated. I don't like feeling aggravated, but I do enjoy the word. I think it's a nice, fun word. We can also get annoyed. Now, when we're in kindergarten, when we're younger, we often say we're very, 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 very angry, but there are actually words that fit into that. So we start out annoyed, irritated, aggravated, and we can go up from there. So most of the time when I'm in these classes, I'm talking to people and they can give me answers. We start out like your sibling comes into your room, or onto your side of the room if you share a room, and you become irritated, and then you say, please don't touch any of my stuff, and they just sit there and smile and like, oh sure. And then we can grow from there to like resentful. We can grow into exasperated. We can grow into fuming. Now for me, fuming is when in cartoons we start to see the steam pouring out of their ears, and we can even become hostile. And we're like, hey, get out, and don't touch my stuff, and they just like, touch, touch, touch. Don't touch what, right? Okay, so maybe some of us have siblings, maybe. And then we get into 10 territory, okay? If we don't manage our anger in a healthy way, we can go all the way up to this 10, where we would experience feelings maybe like livid, irate, enraged, rage maybe, furious. Also, I call this level going Hulk. And so we would see those are eyebrows, okay? Alright. And then we have our level 10 right here. Like, different things happen when you hit this level. We'll have our steam coming out, our hair standing up. Okay, so this is my level 10. Alright? So we have our 1 to 10. And the reason I call it going Hulk, it kind of lets everyone know what 10's about. Would it be safe for me to go up to the Hulk and be like, hey, you seem angry, let's talk about your feelings over tea, right? Probably not healthy, especially when at level 10, from his movies, we see that he can't really talk, and he smashes a lot of stuff, and he doesn't handle his anger in a healthy way. So if you or somebody you know is going Hulk, safety is our main concern. So wait until they're about a 5 before you try and talk to them. Let their anger go down before initiating anything. Also get to a safe place, whether it's yourself or somebody you know is going Hulk. So, now that we know the different levels, and that with each level we become more and more hostile, when we get to a level 10, it's hard to think. A lot of people in this level say that they see red, or they just blank out, and part of that is, at this level, some people, they stop breathing, or their breathing becomes labored, and their body shuts off important conversations to the brain, and to preserve the body, because they think something bad's about to happen. So that when we're at that level, it's hard to talk, it's hard to do anything but act like the Hulk. Alright, so now that we know the different levels of anger, the words that go with each of them, if you Google more words, learn about so many other words that describe the different levels of anger. There are a lot. The next part of learning how to handle our anger in a healthy way is understanding that there are different ways in which we handle our anger. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is a stuffer. A stuffer is probably one of the more unhealthy ways to handle your anger. A stuffer, they pretend that they don't feel angry. Basically, they keep it in their body, and they avoid it altogether. So they deny their anger. Most of the time we see a stuffer, they're the people that are like, oh, I've never been angry. They just keep it in and hold it onto it. And they deny that they're angry, and the problem never gets solved. So it's not a healthy way. Also, when you hold in your anger, it can manifest things like ulcers, stomach aches, headaches, high blood pressure, different things like that. So while they're holding it in, they can experience anxiety, depression, and other horrible things. After a while, though, the stuffer is going to eventually, just like a balloon, when you put too much air into it, they're eventually going to pop as well. And that tends to be a really, really ugly thing. So, let's say she's a stuffer, never admitted she's angry, always denied it. Oh, I don't feel angry. Every time somebody made her angry, she just tucked it inside. After a while, though, she met this guy. She totally liked him, and they decided to go out on a date. On the date, something triggered her. It was tiny, tiny, tiny. It just triggered her and brought up all her anger. So then she goes Hulk all over their date, okay? Destroys the restaurant, destroys his car. The whole town is gone because she went from being, I never get angry, to stuff, to that final pop where she went Hulk and destroyed everything. So is he ever going to ask her out on a date again? Probably not. So stuffing is not healthy. Also, while she was stuffing her anger, she was experiencing different problems like ulcers, stomach aches, headaches, muscle tension, and other things that you just shouldn't have from anger. So the next one we have is a withdrawer. A withdrawer will admit they're feeling angry, but they're very passive aggressive about it, okay? So, they never resolve the problem. Basically, they are the person who, if they're mad at somebody, they'll go days without talking to them, and they'll let them know they're angry, but in subtle, indirect ways. So, oh look, there's my best friend's bike. Pop, pop. because I want them to know I'm mad at them. I'm a withdrawer. I want them to know I'm mad at them. So I'm going to do things in subtle, indirect ways that let them know that I'm angry with them. And if I see her in the hall, I'm going to pretend she doesn't exist. And if she tries to talk to me, I'm going to ask my other friends, like, oh, hey, do you hear something? And, okay, I'm going to, like, let her know I'm mad at her, but in subtle, indirect ways. So I never solve the problem. I basically go into avoidance, but use subtle, indirect ways. If I'm a withdrawer, I get mad at my computer. It just accidentally slipped out of the second story window, right? Onto the ground. Oh, I have no idea how that happened. But a withdrawer, they avoid the problem. They never resolve it. The next one is a blamer. Blamers get very angry, but it's never their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. So they blame, put down, it's always someone else's problem. It's always somebody else's fault. So as a blamer, my teacher goes like, hey, tomorrow you have a huge test. I need you to study for it. If you don't study for it, you're going to fail this class. You're going to have to repeat this class all over again. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, so I go home and I play 15 hours of video games. I go to school the next day and I fail the test. Well, as a blamer, it is never my fault. I'm perfect. And it's always somebody else's. So I get so mad at the teacher. How dare the teacher have a test? I get so mad at the video game. How dare you be irresistible? I get so mad at my parents. Like, how dare they buy a TV and a game console and all that awesome stuff? I get mad at electricity. Because as a blamer, I never see that it's my fault. It's always someone else's. So I use like that type of anger to place blame on others, attack, put down. It's never my problem. But is it my problem? Yes, right? I was irresponsible and didn't study. But I'll never see it that way because I'm a blamer. The next one I have is a triangular. A triangular. All right. I'm going to go to a new page. Okay, because this one's kind of interesting. We have, okay, this is the moon, okay? The moon is mad at the sun, okay? The moon is mad at the sun, because, let's see, the sun, gets all the attention, right? Okay, so, like, we revolve around it, that makes the moon upset, okay, right? Alright, so, the sun, I'm sorry, I didn't draw the sun really well. I need to go back and fix that, because the sun should be happy. It loves the earth, okay, so here's Earth. I'm not going to draw the earth really well, but they're best friends, okay? Yay, we like each other. Okay, let's do our lots of water everywhere. Okay, horrible job. All right, I apologize to everyone. I gotta. Okay. All right, so there's the earth and the sun. Yay, we're best friends. All right, so the moon is really, really angry. So the moon is a triangular. So the moon goes to, let's see, let's pull Mars into this, okay? And says, like, hey, Mars, the sun thinks it's better than you and is talking, garbage all about you being a bummer planet. Alright? So, now Mars is mad at the sun, okay? And it's all based on rumor, it's all based on a lie. It's all because the moon is a triangular. So the moon is constantly pulling people in, making them angry so that they don't have to be angry alone. And we see this a lot. You guys went to junior high, right? You'll see that one person on the playground everyone is mad at. And no one really knows why, but it's all like, oh, she said this about your mama, or he said this about that, okay? Right? So we see the moon pulling people in. He goes like to Pluto and like, hey, the sun says you're not a planet anymore and you don't matter. And so now Pluto's all angry, right? Okay. And so it's all about not having to be angry alone. So the triangular actually admits they're angry, but they use their anger to make people more angry so they don't have to be angry alone. We see that a lot on social media also. Like they all like pull people in, get them angry so they don't have to be angry alone. All right, so triangular. And then the last one okay, is an exploder. Exploders are probably the most healthy anger managers, I guess. They are still unhealthy, but man, when they get angry, they just like yell, scream, punch, kick, hit, and then they go Hulk, and then they're done. Okay, so Hulk is a exploder. It's not healthy, but they're not like pulling others in, making them angry, blaming others, withdrawing, or keeping it inside to get those health problems. So the exploder, they admit they're angry, but then they use violence to handle it. So it's all not healthy. So, we want everyone to become a problem solver. We encourage everyone to become a problem solver. Problem solvers look at why they're angry, they admit to feeling angry, and then they use their problem-solving skills to learn how their anger can work for them. So the main thing in this, no person, situation, or thing can make you feel angry. You choose your feelings even if you're not aware of it. So the problem solver knows this. So they start at the problem solving with, is it a situation thing that is causing me to react this way? And they ask themselves, am I really angry? We use anger to mask different things. So I will give you examples. I'm walking through my house and I stub my toe on the coffee table. I get so mad. How dare the coffee table jump out in front of me? Okay, so I'm really angry. I'm going to chop it up in pieces and throw it in the fireplace. But then I take my anger mask off, recognize I'm just in a ton of pain, hobble myself to the hospital, get my foot fixed, and all is well, right? But had I left my anger mask on, that would have been hurtful. We also tend to be, a lot of people feel more comfortable when they're angry, so they'll put anger over sadness, they'll put anger over bitterness, jealousy. Okay, so like, I'm doing my homework, and all of a sudden I get so angry, I tear up my book, I destroy my homework, I burn my backpack, I'm just so angry at my homework. Am I really angry? I hope you said no. Most of the time I could be confused, I just don't understand the math problem or something like that. Take off my anger mask, recognize I'm just confused. And that way, that would be the time I phone for help. I ask somebody about the problem. I get more assistance with it. But had I kept my anger mask on, it would have been awful. So think of the ways we might cover up our other feelings with anger. Now for me, I put an anger mask on a lot. But it's mostly due to hunger. So when I haven't eaten and my blood sugar falls, take off my anger mask, recognize, okay, I'm not really angry, I'm not really going Hulk, I just need to have some apple juice. Okay, and then I'm all better. Or I just need to eat something. You've all seen Snickers commercials. Alright. So, once we realize, is this really angry? Then we move on to the next step, which is recognizing when we're becoming angry. We should already know, but they look at reasons why The main thing we want to do, though, is recognize our anger cues. The different signals that are being sent to us letting us know that we're becoming angry. So, one of the things that everyone is different, so our anger cues are also different. So think about your anger cues. For me, your heart starts beating. You can feel it pounding. Sometimes it's pounding out of like your chest, or it's just starts going really rapid. Then you start breathing faster, more labored. That's the part where your brain's like, oh no, something bad is happening. I better shut down parts of the brain that have to do with communication to save the body. Okay, makes sense? All right. Then we get into our face can become flushed. So we can go from a nice shade of tan or brown into a shade of red, pink, maybe even a deep, beautiful burgundy maroon. Lots of options there. Maybe your face doesn't change colors, and that's an option too. Then we have an adrenaline rush, where we start to feel jumpy, like we have to take action. So it's flight, freeze, or fight response. And in that, I know I'm a freezer, so when like my adrenaline gets going, I'm like, oh no, what happened? But other people, they like, oh no, something bad's happening, and they run away. Or, oh no, something bad's gonna happen, better get ready to fight. So you start to get jumpy, like you have to take action. Then maybe everyone is different. Maybe you start to clench your teeth, or you can tell when someone's really mad at you when they can't separate their teeth to talk to you, and they say your full name really, really fast because they start to talk really, really fast. And that's a sign when you start to talk really, really fast, you start to become angry. And then your muscles tense up, right? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. You're gonna like see the whole, like your muscles tense up, you start to clench your fists as well. Okay? And then see, you can become really, really hot. Some people turn really, really cold when they're angry. We usually call anger like you get to your boiling point, because most people become really, really hot when they're angry. For me, when I'm becoming angry, my anger cues, I start to shake, and my breath, probably, like I hold it, I think, and my heart starts to beat. Some people, when they're becoming angry, they just get a stomach ache or a headache. So there are different things that let you know you're becoming angry. Another thing that I do when I'm becoming angry is I cry. Definitely not. I don't think it's unusual. I think a lot of people have that issue as well. But just knowing your anger cues can let you know that you're becoming angry, so that you can implement the last step, which is handling your anger in a healthy way. There are all sorts of ways we handle our anger in a unhealthy way, but we're going to focus on handling your anger in a healthy way that won't hurt yourself, won't hurt others, that includes pets, and won't hurt property. So, if you are going Hulk for more than 45 seconds, there is something else under than just besides anger. So your experience should be at least below 45 seconds. If it's more than that, there's something else underlying that needs to be checked out. But healthy ways to handle your anger. So one of the things that we can do anywhere, anytime, any place is breathe. So smell the roses, blow out the candles, at least 3 cleansing breaths, but the moment you do them, you should feel your body relaxing with each with that, you can also count. So healthy ways to handle your anger, we're going to breathe. Maybe count. Another thing that you can do, no matter where you are or what you're doing, is notice 5 things, preferably from your senses, but I do what I see, and I label those out. So like mountains, skies, clouds, trees, grass, okay? And that should help, center yourself, all right? Other things you can do, I love to walk my dogs when I'm angry. Exercise is really helpful to take that negative energy and move it out. Another thing you could do to handle your anger in a healthy way could be like scrubbing the dishes or deep cleaning your house. That'll always help take that angry energy and put it into something for the better. There are lots of ways to handle your anger in a healthy way. So maybe listen to music that's going to be helpful. Not the music that's going to make you more angry, but the music that can actually calm you down, or dance, or we have lots of ways to handle our anger in a healthy way. So just remember, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt others, that includes pets, and don't hurt property. So when I punch a wall, I'm not only hurting myself, but I'm hurting property as well. So we don't want to do that. And when I eat, I need to remember, not the whole gallon of ice cream when I'm angry, maybe just like a cone, okay? So there are ways to handle your anger in a healthy way. Lastly, when you're handling somebody else's anger, let them vent. Don't get defensive, just listen. One of the things that I start out teaching is allow them to take a seat. But if they're standing, then you stand as well. Be the last one to sit down. So I usually start standing, I wait for them to sit, and then I'll go to the side of a table and lean on it, or I will just the side of a desk. And then once I feel like they've calmed down, then I'll sit across from them, make eye contact, let them vent, and repeat back what they're saying to ensure that I know that they're listening. But I don't encourage you to try conversations when somebody is going Hulk at an 8, 9, or 10. It just won't be helpful, and it won't solve anything yet. And at the end of that, if you can negotiate, if you come together to solve the problem peacefully, you can do it. I appreciate you all so much. If you have any questions, you can type them into the comment section. I really appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, email me at qwsquest@yahoo.com.